Hey guys, today I'm working on the replacement of the freshwater pump in our 1992 Champion Europremier. This is the original pump from 1992, or most likely built in 91. Actually, I believe the date on the pump says manufactured in July of 1991. So it's had a pretty good life. It is still working, but making quite a bit of noise. As you can see, it's been leaking a little bit there, and the pressure's dropped a bit, so it's definitely time to replace it before it just completely gives out on us. Plus the noise is driving me crazy. So got a new pump here. Picked this up from our local camper trailer parts supply. $95.33, pretty good deal for a new modern Shurflo that's supposed to be quite a bit better than what we had. Got a few of the things out that I think I'm going to need for the replacements, so we'll go through those as we go. The new pump comes with a red wire and a black wire, just like the old one. Has the same two fittings on the side, and then the one red wire that comes up around and plugs into the front of it. Pretty similar to the new one, except this one has 4 mounting holes, 2 on each side there. The original one only has 3 holes. Going to start by disconnecting the electrical first. Pump is turned off up in the motorhome. It's a feisty one. And I don't like the way they splice this negative in here, so we're going to have to do something a little different there. Let's start by just snipping the old pump wire off just to get it out of there. We'll unconnect plumbing. A little pressure left in there. Oh, looks like I need to close the supply for the tank. It's always helpful. Okay, there's our problem. Screws that were used in this take the little square bit. Decided to solder the connection here, so I've just tinned the ends here, put the heat shrink over, and then we're going to solder it up. Okay, that connection is complete, soldered, heat shrinked, and we'll move on to the black negative connection. Okay, I've soldered and heat shrinked the hot wire into the system and the ground wire into the system here. And put a little dielectric grease on the connector here, and this just fits right up onto this tab here. And we are now ready to hook up the water and secure the pump to the floor. Okay, I've taken the adapter off the old pump and the fitting for the winterization. Too tight. I want the valve to be facing me for the winterization. Actually, I have to be able to screw the extra tube for winterization on there, so I need to go an extra quarter turn to make that accessible. Good finger tight. Okay, before I secure it to the floor, I'm gonna turn on the water and turn on the pump for a minute just to make sure it all works and no leaks. It'd be easier to fix something before it's screwed down. Okay, I had a little issue with the pump that would not shut off. The guy at the parts store told me they were having a problem with this on these Shurflos. So I went in here to the, you can see here, the bypass valve right here has a little Allen head screw right in the middle of it. It's a 5/64 little Allen wrench. I tightened it clockwise. It took about 1.5 to 2 turns to get the pump to shut off. Then I turned it about another quarter turn. They do say in the instructions that this should be adjusted by a certified technician so that it won't keep running on you, because if the pump doesn't shut off, you're gonna have real problems. And this new one is so quiet, I couldn't even tell it was running up in the motorhome unless I had the windows open and I listened really close and turned it on and off, and then I could tell the difference between it running on and off. But so be careful with that. I'm just going to try this. I'm going to keep a real close eye on it and make sure that the pump doesn't stay running for me and burn itself up. Okay, I got some stainless screws here. Ideally I would use like a pan head, but I happen to have these that are stainless, and they're the same length as what came out of there, 1 inch, so that they don't go too far down and poke through the bottom. So I figured out where I want the pump here, so I have access to both sides there, and I can get the winterization tube on there when it comes time. And as you can see, Debbie's up there cleaning the sink and the toilet, so the pump is doing a little work now while I'm finishing up here. Just going to put that in and let it self-tap into the floor. Hopefully that goes in far enough, and I'll finish up the other three. Been running the pump for a little bit, using it. Seems to be working great. It's always shutting off when it should, and no leaks in sight, so I'm going to keep a close eye on it. And looks like it's all done. Hope this helped you out a lot, in case you need to do the same thing.